welcome to the monthly giveaway episode for July 2020, where we have a monthly giveaway where you enter in your question and we do a lucky draw. Whoever is the lucky winner gets to have their question answered by the I Ching. Great way of understanding how to really start applying the I Ching, because it's one thing to know the mechanics of the process of how you cast the coins and how you work with the symbols of change. It's another thing altogether to weave the whole story together to make a consistent, coherent picture of how to work with the question. Interpretation within the I Ching is probably the most difficult thing to work with, and there's only one way to do it, and that is practice, practice, practice. Right, so congratulations to R for her question being submitted, and her question for the I Ching this month is, please advise R on her work with digital marketing as a path to her true self. Beautiful. So many of myself included, we do work in the digital marketing space, and it's great to be able to ask the question of, is this aligned with my true self? Is this enabling me to work in this space? Okay, so let us work with the question. Of course, let's ask the question clearly. Please advise R on her work with digital marketing as a path to her true self. Right, we cast the coins, heads and tails, we count them up. It gives us a series of numbers, 3, 6, 7, 8. And while I do this, let's speed this up. Okay, so we've cast our 6 lines. We cast the coins 6 times over. We count heads and tails. We get to 4 options, a 6 or 8, or a 7 or a 9. And if we have a 6 and a 9, like here we've got 2 9s, those are changing lines. So we have changing lines in the 3rd position and the 4th position. Here we have fire on top, which moves upwards. And here we have mountain underneath that sinks and rests. Okay, and now of course we get our present hexagram through this first one, the first one we cast, and from that we draw our outcome hexagram. We take all the changing lines and we turn them into our opposites, so that becomes okay, so we have these 2 changing lines become the opposites, and that gives us mountain on the top, which sinks and rests, and earth on the bottom that sinks. And of course we do our nuclear hexagram as well, so let's do that over here. The nuclear is the heart of the present. Okay, so it's calculated from the center of this present hexagram, and in this case we have a new hexagram drawn, which is lake on the top. Oh, no, other way. Wind, wood on the bottom. Okay, so here are our hexagrams. If we write in our hexagram names, we have the present hexagram is called 56. The wanderer. We have an outcome hexagram, which is 23, splitting apart, and our nuclear hexagram is 28, great pressure. Okay, so let's have a look at this outline for you. It certainly is indicating that the question that you asked for around digital marketing as a path to your true self is fraught with a lot of challenge. Okay, doesn't mean we now run from the challenge, we don't deal with the challenge, but it means we understand that there's lots of development and lots of interesting things for us to consider in your question. Okay, so let's start here. 56, or hexagram 56, the wanderer, is our present hexagram. It represents the current or main flow of change related to your question of digital marketing as a path for your true self. And the wanderer is the seeker, the one that's out looking for meaning on a journey, in going on journeys outside of your traditional world. Okay, you think about a world, and here's the different continents. The wanderer is the traveler, right? Who is seeking to learn new things and to travel the globe. Maybe you are a traveler. And I feel like linking this to your question of your true self is the I Ching is saying that part of your journey is that you are on a journey of exploration. You are on your quest for the Holy Grail, as it were. And so your question is tied to this bigger process of being the wanderer, of seeking something new, of going on new journeys of discovery. I would take from this hexagram coming up with the present that perhaps digital marketing is a new avenue or in a new direction for you, as opposed to something that you have been doing for a long time. So a journey, a sojourn into a new experience, into a new world, that this is being highlighted for you. And the thing with being a traveler is when you go to a foreign place and you are in a new world, you've got to understand how the culture of this new country or this new place that you're in, how it operates, and that you don't take your culture and assume that your culture is the culture of every other place you go. That's what being a good traveler is about. You're a chameleon-like in changing how you blend in with the culture you're in, to learn from the culture and not make assumptions about what the culture is all about. So in this question of digital marketing as a path to your true self, you are on a journey. And I would say that coming with these changing lines and some of these other things is that the journey is much bigger than just digital marketing. So that's the nature of the question. But what is the bigger journey your true self is trying to experience? Okay, what is your path of discovery that you have gone on, and how is digital marketing fitting into this path of discovery? Is it the end of the road, or is it part of a town that you pass through as part of a bigger expansion process that you're on? And these are questions that I Ching is asking you to think about. Okay, so let's have a look at the particular changing lines and what they might mean for you. So position 3, and I've spoken about this before, that these two lines, position 3 and position 4, are transition, places of transition. We're going from the trigram of mountain into the trigram of fire. We're leaving behind this trigram, we're entering this trigram. Okay, so what is here? What is this thing that we are being asked to pay attention to in line 3? This line 3 says we burn down our rest house. So when you are a traveler, you go from rest house to rest house. That's your hotel, right? Or the B&B, or the place of lodging. And what this says is you burn down the house that you're in and upset your friend. Your friend runs away in fright. So part of this, in your wanderings, what is the thing? What is the sabotage? Let me get that spelling right. Sabotage that you might be tempted to do, your old pattern that you might be tempted to burn down the house. So let me try and apply this to your question. Let's say you have got an opportunity to put together a portfolio or to do some work in the digital marketing space. Okay. And you might have a life pattern that when those new opportunities come in, something comes to sabotage them, where we self-sabotage, not just someone else, but self-sabotage the opportunity. We burn down the house that's giving us a place to rest in this journey of exploration. And we chase away the friend who's been trying to help us, this new friend we've made in this new town that is temporary. So I would look at where are the patterns in your life of where the opportunity comes and where the self-sabotage kicks in. And whatever that thought process is that makes you say, oh, well, I don't need this anyway, or I don't work when you want me to work, or I've got my own rules. What is that little internal racket that is the saboteur in the situation that's burning down the house? Because in a way, the burning down the house creates problems for you. And it's rooted in the past. It's an old issue that keeps on coming back out. And literally, I would encourage you to go and find online, or if you have a copy of an I Ching interpretation, go look up 56, go look up this changing line, and you'll see, I'm not just making this up, it's literally old issues from the past where we burn down the house and we chase away the friend. Okay, you've got to understand that that is a self-sabotage process. You have burned down the house. Okay, you have burnt the bridges or created an issue that no one else has. No one else has burned down this house. You have done this. And I know these words are harsh, and I hope you can take the interpretation I'm giving you, because I have absolutely no idea where you're at in this question of digital marketing for your true self. But let's think about what might be the sabotage process of maybe even in your journey of finding your true self, of living your truth, because this is all about seeking. You are a seeker. Where do you get stuck in burning down the house or burning down the things, the structures that give you rest, that give you shelter, that give you a place to recoup and refuel for the next phase of your journey? Okay, so are you anti-structure or anti-authority? Is that what the house represents for you? What does this mean for you? Okay, so quite a tough changing line, quite difficult to work with. All right, now in this changing line, we changed tack a little bit, and we've now, after burning down the house before, we've now traversed some more, and we've now found a rest place, we found an axe, we found tools, but our heart is not glad. So we found something, we found a place to rest, we found a place to use tools, to have access to tools, but there's a sense that our heart is not glad. And I would say that, coming back to your question of digital marketing as a path to your true self, I would say that there's some dissatisfaction sitting under the surface related to this question of your true self and digital marketing. So here's a place, here's a thing you can do, here are tools you can use, but why is this heart still sad? And I feel like because your journey is moving, there's other things to experience. I would do some internal work with really unpacking the reasons why you say digital marketing. And I know that what might be happening for you is that you're on a process of exploration, because this is what the Wanderer is doing, right? Is asking the question, and that's what you've done. You've reached out to the Ching and you've asked the question, this thing that I'm contemplating, digital marketing, is it aligned with my true self? There's a part of this process, the reasons that you've embarked upon this particular thing is that yes, you've got the building to rest in, yes, you've got the tools, but your heart is not glad. So there feels to me like fundamentally part of this process, there is something that is not quite in alignment. And maybe it's the reasons you're doing it. Okay? Is it because your heart has chosen it, or is it because it's the right thing to do, or it's somebody else's idea? Right? So what are the reasons that you've chosen this path? And it might not be about digital marketing. It might be about the type of digital marketing, or the way that you work, or the place that you work, or the freedom you have, because the Wanderer wants to explore and travel, but here the heart is not glad taking time out in this hotel. Okay, so you might have literally in front of you an opportunity to take an offer, to take a job, to be in an environment, to do this work, and your heart feels restless and sad at having stopped the journey, basically, of exploration. So that's why when I started, I said this is quite a tricky and interesting outline. I know I've got little writings all over the place, but the I Ching is challenging you back to do some tough thinking around the self-sabotage, around what is comfort and rest for you. Why is your heart not glad to be in this place? And I would imagine that underneath the question that you asked is a restlessness to travel and explore and expand, to find this true self, to find this holy grail that you are searching for. And of course, there are many different ways of finding it. And what tends to happen is it finds you in spite of yourself. So sometimes we can get overstressed about it when we shouldn't. All right, so let's have a look at some of the other information here for you. What is the heart of the pressure, or the heart of the question is great pressure. Okay, this hexagram, you can see there's a little yin line at the top, a yin line at the bottom. They're passive, they're not very strong, and we have this big bulk of male strength in the middle. And so it symbolizes, if you think of a house, it symbolizes the ridge pole that holds up the roof of the house, having too much pressure on it and collapsing it. So I would say that there's been immense pressure for you in making a decision, in stepping into something new. Perhaps you feel a huge inner pressure, or you faced a crisis. I know that obviously with COVID at the moment, and the gap between when you submitted your question and now might be that there's been a whole lot of development happening around these changing lines that make more sense now. But there certainly is an indication here with these changing lines that firstly, there is huge pressure that the structure of your life is under pressure to collapse. And perhaps that for you is earning an income, or perhaps it's for you making a decision and feeling hugely pressured that you're in a crisis of having to make a choice. What's sitting at the heart of the question that you've asked for? But it certainly feels here in the changing line over here that the pressure gets relieved, that we find ways of reinforcing this house, and we overcome the sense of everything collapsing around us. So you start the changing line with, this is really, really a lot of pressure to deal with, and then we find that we've shifted. So perhaps you're already here, but understand that pressure is all around you. Find ways of putting down the things that are precious, almost as if the path that we have chosen is not well supported, like it's not supportive of our life, of having stability and structure in our life, and so we create this huge pressure. So this might be a number of different things. This might be what you've chosen to do. This might be choosing to travel or be freer than taking a fixed position. So there's a whole lot of things that only you can know, because I don't know who you are, how this applies to you. The pressure that you're feeling, and the process and the journey of discovery and exploration that you're on, and working through, where is this wanderer going? What is this path of discovery, and where is the Holy Grail? Okay, so where is this all going to? What is the outcome of the question that you asked? We have hexagram 23 splitting apart. These two are really tough. They are tough. This one brings huge pressure to you, a crisis where you're really having to augment, put down, strip away the things that are putting too much pressure on your life. And this one says, we've got to cut down to the bone. I'm going to try and draw a bone. Oh dear, that looks like a Flintstone bone. Cut away all the flesh off the bone. Sorry for the graphic story, but this literally is what the I Ching talks about. Cutting away the flesh off the bone and getting to the bones of something. In other words, stripping away, splitting apart and stripping away everything that is excess and not you. Okay, because this thing is under pressure. All these passive lines, okay, one little strength of line, and this is, in a way, a very similar tale to this one of collapse, all right? And what we have to do to mitigate collapse. We have to get back to the bare bones. I would say that with this pressure and with this journey of seeking, one of the things you have to do is get rid of everything that is unnecessary in your life, things that are peripheral, especially if you're traveling, you need to travel light. There's a sense here of really spending time understanding what is the bare bones of the situation, what's at the heart of the situation, and what is core to you. Strip away everything that's not important, all the peripheral stuff, all the things that are not core to your values, and support yourself with getting back to that process. So, in bringing this all in for a wrap-up, and tying it to your question of please advise R on her work with digital marketing as a path to her true self, I would say there's a lot going on for you. There's a lot of things where you're being encouraged to strip away old parts of you, old ways of thinking, outmoded old ways, things you no longer need, stripping away things that are unnecessary pressure, because you are on a journey here. That's what this is all about. And I would say that the journey is continuing, the seeking is continuing. Maybe for now, digital marketing or a digital marketing opportunity, if it's more specific than that, is a rest house on your journey. But if it's not part of who you are, understand that it's part of the journey, not necessarily the destination. So I would feel like I'd say to you, be open that this journey is bigger than digital marketing, that you're still in a process of discovery, and that time will reveal where this process is leading. This is not a coming home outline for you, for your question. It's a process of discovery. It's on your route. There's things that are learning. There's pressure. There's stripping away. You are under a lot of pressure. And so understand, strip away, get back to what's really essential, what's really important, and give your journey its energy. Be really conscious, be aware of the self-sabotage, and understand that this is a process of temporarily resting somewhere, not necessarily the whole bigger picture. Your true path is a holy grail that is far bigger than any career, than any stopping point of any job, of any connection or project. Go on that journey and see it as a journey of discovery, and that will change your relationship with it. Thank you so much, R, for submitting your question. I really hope that has helped you to see your question in new light, and wishing you, on behalf of the whole I Ching Cafe family, all our followers and subscribers, the very best for your journey ahead. And of course, to those of you who have not yet submitted a question before, go to the link below this video and you'll find a link, and then you'll be directed to where to enter the current month's giveaway. I really encourage you to subscribe to this channel to get our monthly, weekly overviews and our training videos as they come out. And of course, we'll see you on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for our daily stories. Like, share, comment. It'd be great to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers.